Hello. Good old-fashioned Uncle Leo hello, like a Seinfeld. Hello, Uncle Leo. How are you? It's your favorite toothless friend here to say hello. How's your day going? You know she's listening. I hope you're having a good day. To my subscribers, hello. You guys are good to me. I love you. To pieces, Mises. And if you're new, welcome aboard. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be swell. If you'd like to support the channel, even better. I put all of it on a piece of paper. So you know me. So Cash App, money sign, capital A-M-Y, capital L-E-E, capital A, capital L, and PayPal, ZivaMonaLisa@gmail.com. Okay, so I want to talk about Kevin Sehmir. It's what? Sehmir. My goodness gracious, holy Moses for holies. Hey, I've got some news. You know how I not kinda. That's called a qualifier. It's a word that makes something, okay. You'll see it in a lot of, you will see it in a lot of interrogations. So notice it. You'll see lots of qualifiers, like about 10:30, and then they'll tell another story. It's like down to the minute, so, or like, I think that's about what everybody was saying. It's like, I just said about, and I say about again because I said about. That's not what I was saying about. I bet you know what? Okay. Woo! Okay, Kevin Sehmir. Oh, yeah. See? Okay, so you know how I'm interested in the Lady Bird Lake stuff, and they call it the Rainy Street Ripper. It's rain like rain. R-A-I-N-E-Y. All right, so I'll go on, like, stop saying like, dude. You gotta stop saying like. I will go on a channel and watch a video like mine, and then I'll look in the description, and then maybe if there's comments, I'll start reading the comments, and if somebody says something that I'm like, just like everybody can see me and see my comments on everything, I can see those comments that they let you see. I commented on some stuff on Nancy Grace. I didn't like what she did. I did 3 different comments. They left one on there. So they can take them off. They don't always have the comment you put on there. When I get comments, I get stuff put in the like areas. It'll say like, it will say, it sorts it, ones I've read, haven't read, and some that are, it's like a marking, like flagged, and then they'll be like, well, these might be too mean, hey, and then I have to approve those comments. If I think those comments are too mean, I just get rid of them. If I think the comments are real out of pocket, I could get the person thrown right off of YouTube. So it's really up to all of us. We can all do these things. These things can be done by all of us. There's lots of ways to do it. So, yeah. So I was reading these comments, and I saw somebody say something like to the effect of, it was on Reddit. At this point, I'm down the rabbit hole into Reddit. That's when you know you're in deep. When you go to Reddit, woo! You just say, Alice in Wonderland ain't got nothing on me. I'm gonna go to Reddit. So, and then it was like some other stuff from Reddit, like going on and on and on. And this guy said something like, hey man, like, hey man, remember that song? But they said basically like, listen, when you wake up face down and you don't know why, and he said all the stuff I said, like I was partying really hard and I'm a partier and nobody really could even outdrink me or anything, and I'm underneath this bridge, and I don't know how I got here. It's nuts. He was a Marine or whatever. I think he was a Marine, the guy that... He was definitely in the forces. He might have been a Marine. Marines are the craziest. Let it be known. The Marines, hands off to you, partners. My love and respect go out to all of it. And that's why this guy really caught my eye, because it's hard to have PTSD. And I didn't even want to accept that I had it, but I do. And it's not cool. And the stuff he was saying is the same stuff I go through. He said that, this makes me sad. I went from his remark on his name to take me to another completely different channel on a completely different app, and it's his page of all of his responses to other pages. I don't know. And he told a lot of war stories, and he said something like, how do you think it feels to watch my buddy's face blow off? He said he had to get up and leave during Batman because Two-Face, the thing made him want to scream. He had to get the heck out of there, and that he has nightmares every single night of somebody crawling on his bed with half a face. So, yeah, I get that. I've had that. I actually did a video early bit, like way back when I started a month ago. Way back then. Way back in the old days, a month ago. I said that too. I have this... when I was in menopause, it was crazy. I got thrown into full-blown menopause at 36. That's very young. I had to get a full hysterectomy. I went in for a partial hysterectomy because I had endometriosis. I had 4 surgeries already. It was coming on the 4th. I said, listen, man, I'm already divorced. I've got 2 children. Just get it out over here. I don't want any flow. I don't want any of this jazz. Just get out of it. Stop it. Like, why are we doing this? Why would I keep doing this? The monthly check. Get out of here with all that. So they said, okay, but you only get a partial. And they start talking about insurance. Blah, blah, blah. And I got to go on it because I had to do that because the fear of me getting cancer was so high that I couldn't take... Once I did go into menopause, I couldn't even take hormones. So it's like, with me, I had to be careful. But after that, I was awake, man, I want to say like 14 days. And I remember hallucinating, and I remember seeing somebody, and I think the movie was 1408 or something, 1804. You guys know, you know better than I do. And it's John Cusack, and he would go to ghost hotels and disprove all the ghost stories. But this one got him. And one of the things was this weird, crazy guy just come running out of nowhere, like out of the corner at him when he's laying down. My mom was running at me a lot when I'm laying down. When I went to a certain place to situate my life out. My crazy roommate, she come running at me when I'm laying down. I don't like that. Don't run at me when I'm laying down. I was in gymnastics. I was in ballet. You don't know. I'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? You don't know where... So I emailed him. Well, I didn't email him. I commented on a comment. So somehow that should get back to him. And I asked him if it was him. And if it wasn't him, that's okay. I gave him my email because I said, you know what? He has like kids and a wife. And I said, I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want your money. I don't want anything. Like, really, I don't. I'm a very solitary life. And it's not that your family and your wife or anybody doesn't care. They do. It's just that you can't really say everything, and they get tired of it. And you don't want to keep saying it, because they don't want to hear it. So it's like a weird catch-22 where it just keeps going around. It's better to just kind of have somebody on the side. When I was really bad, my family just kept saying, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. I went to 4 therapists in town, and everybody told me to leave. They're like, we don't do dual diagnosis. I'd be like, it's on the door. You're too much. Okay, so Kevin Sehmir. Hopefully that'll, if that's, I mean, I don't want to, like, make a victim out, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully, maybe we can get some inside deets, you know? We gotta get these deets, baby. I might have to have a channel called The Deets, you know? All right. This is about tattoos. This is so stupid. This is your typical barroom baloney that happens on the daily, all the time. It could happen, at the grocery store. It could happen, walking down a lonely walk. Just people feel like telling you stuff all the time. They don't need to freaking tell you, but hey. So this woman and her husband, they're married. I believe they have 3 children. Do you hear that music? That's from somebody's car. This is what I'm talking about. Like, Youngstown's a different breed. I do this stuff in different cities, and everybody's like, what is wrong with you? Youngstown is, we're our own kind of crazy. First of all, we have the best fighters in the United States. We got a lot of awesome stuff here. You have to look into it. There's a YouTube video called Youngstown Still Standing. It's fantastic. It's produced by Boom Boom Mancini, the featherweight. I think it was featherweight, right? Oh, doggone it, I'm going to make a mistake. Doggone it, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to look up Boom Boom. I am in love with Boom Boom Mancini. He's like 100 now, but doggone it. I loved him. Oh, yeah. He's like an Italian. So I'm excited just looking at him. He's 63. He has a spouse named Tina. How wonderful. This is so cool. An American former boxer who competed professionally from 79 to 92. Says, how good was Ray Mancini? From May 82 until June 84, Mancini reigned as a World Boxing Association lightweight champion. He eventually left the game with a 29-5 record. 23 wins by knockout. That's KO, baby. Yeah. And good health and financial standing. That's great. Yeah, he hit somebody extra hard and they died. So he quit. He had it. It really messes with him. He's a good Catholic man, and he's just such a good man. I mean, seriously. When he came out, it was like Rocky had just come out, so we were all like, woo! We also had Jim Trafficant, though, and we didn't see things about Jim Trafficant, but I think Jim Trafficant and Trump would be like, all right. So, Kevin's 60. He's an older man. Portly, yes. Smart as a whip. He has, like, silvery gray hair. Kind of reminds me of maybe he used to be, like, a jock or, like, in some kind of in-crowd where he was kind of like the guy, like a machismo guy. So, Josh Davies is 39. I want to see where the babies are. Where's the baby? His wife, Jennifer, is a hairdresser / cosmetologist. They said hairdresser. I said, child, who hopped in their DeLorean and went back to the 80s talking about hairdresser? You got to be a cosmetologist. You can't be a hairdresser. Hairdresser? Woo! Okay, so they're sitting at this bar. They knew one lady who knew this guy. She knew the guy because she came into a different bar looking for these two. And he was like, and so when they walked into this bar and he's sitting there, they wanted to go to a wine bar. And they didn't even order wine, don't know it. So, their friend was drinking wine. They were at some kind of festival, and they're like, well, I'll see you there. So they walk in, and she goes, oh, hey. Hey, Kevin, what's up? These are my friends, remember, la, la, la. So Kevin decides to say, what are those tattoos? Like, he's like, You're going to hell. You're going to hell because you have tattoos, and it's against the Bible. Kevin, what are you talking about, Kevin? Kevin, now listen. Now, y'all know that I did a thing about Micah Miller's husband and John Paul. And we discussed the, what are we talking about? The 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not. No other gods, Lord's name in vain, Sabbath on Sunday, you keep it holy. Honor thy father and mother, thou shalt not, I said mother. That shall not kill, commit adultery, do not steal, no false witness, lie, do not covet. These are things that this guy, do not worship graven images, and that's like anything like, like clothes, money, songs, people, anything before God. So that day I said Leviticus 19:28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, or tattoo any marks on you. I am the Lord. That is Leviticus 19:28. When you see my second husband, this guy, he was schizophrenic. He's a crazy ass hillbilly. Darn it, I swear. Sorry, man. Sorry, Mel. Sorry, everybody. I apologize. I shouldn't say sorry because I remember having a teacher. I'd say, I'm sorry. He goes, you are. So I say, apologize. I apologize. So I need to just say it once also. My ex has, my sister has moles. My second husband is insane. He's got like 4 felonies. One time he was literally walking down the street with a television, and not a small one either, like a big, heavy, big, fat television. No, that's how brazen he is. And he's a type that he likes fighting. He's strong, he's hillbilly strong. But his tattoos are of like ghosts and devils and things like that. And this specifically says don't do that. Don't in your flesh for the dead. So that's kind of like a double strike. So first of all, you're getting a tattoo. In Jewish law, you can't even be, I don't know if law is the right term. You cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery if you have tattoos. You cannot have one marking on your body to be in that cemetery, or however they put them. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on that. So yeah, that was also, this man was a pastor and he has tattoos, a whole bunch of them, and he put one on her about her death. On him about her death, talking about. So then, says no marks on you. So this guy, he's feeling pretty good about himself, and he says, listen, that's, against the Bible, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Woo, he won't stop. Well, Josh Davies, and he had a sweet, they call him Big Deal Davies. Father of 3, likes to play disc golf. That's sweet. Josh basically said something like, okay, then see you outside. I'll see you right outside. Let's go. I don't know how, if they're outside, a bar stool got involved or some kind. They said there was a bar stool. There are outside bars, so, I've been out on a patio or two, but I don't, there's bar stools there, okay. He grabbed it like he was going to throw it, and Kevin came out and basically kind of got in the pocket there, and he kind of almost threw the thing, but didn't throw it. Kevin got up in there and gave it to him. Josh lost his balance, falls down, hits his head. He's in the ICU for 27 days. Died from his injuries. Punched left temple. Fell and hit head again. Going to hell, God save him. That's what he said. You're going to hell, God needs to save you. This all comes down to, in the courts, it comes down to provocation. And I'm going to tell you what provocation is. Provocation is to provoke somebody. That's a fancy word for if you think about it, it says it. Provocation, provoke. So, act rashly without deliberate behavior. Okay, so there's a difference. There's three kinds of provocation, and this is a self-defense defense. There's unintentional, meaning like you pass by, you say something, and someone's insulted. Okay, whatever. Then there's intentional but well-meaning, so you're kind of razzing somebody, but you don't really want to take it to the nether. You're okay. You're not doing that. And then there's just malevolent. That's how I'm going to pronounce it, darling. That's how I'm going to do MALEVOLENTY, intentionally. So now you're putting malice, bad intentions, malice toward this person, saying you're gonna go to hell, but that in itself is a provocation, if you ask me. That in itself is inciting somebody, starting something, getting it going. Inciting and provocation are two different things, though. So it's still pretty darn close, if you ask me. It's like kind of the same, but not the same. So when he said, "See outside, partner," that's what they're calling provocation in this. Insinuating that Kevin had no other choice but to hit him. As somebody who's hit somebody first, I didn't always do that. I did that when it comes to stuff like this, because if somebody comes at me and tries to hit me, I'm going to hit you first. If I see you come running at me and doing something crazy, if I see that looking around, I'm going to knock you out. I really am. Or I'm going to go down trying, and I could take a beating, but doggone it, don't make me do that. This guy's got second-degree reckless homicide, aggravated battery. He's 60 years old, shoots his mouth off about the Bible, hits the guy in the head, the guy falls down, hits his head, and dies. A father of 3 who just wanted to go out and have a drink. Drinking is weird. We all know drinking leads to nowhere good every single time. I don't know if he owned a landscaping business, but he is a landscaper. They had a very, very nice house. His wife has a good cosmetologist. They make more money the longer they do it. If you start at a vela and in a salon, you're going to make minimum wage at first, like 2 or 3 years. You're doing all the B work. You're sweeping, you're getting the clients, you're doing all the crap that nobody wants to do. You might be mixing somebody's color, you might be doing this and that. Doing the towels, crap work. So if you've ever gone to like one of those Aveda spas, you'll see it'll say like, this level, this level, this level. So you could get a haircut that's $36, or you could get a haircut, the same haircut, for like $250 or $190 or $120. It depends on your salon, how many. You work on levels up in that. So you could work for years with crap. She's about my age, so I'm saying she's making real good money. She's got really good clients. And the woman who introduced her to Kevin was her client. What a bummer, man. He never swang back. Instigate versus response. So that's where the provocation, self-defense comes in. She said, did you ever say anything? And she said he mouthed like the F word, So he said F you, basically. Threw some glass or something when the man went down. What a bummer. What a bummer. You're going to hell. God won't save you. That's what he said. Dave was having a beer, and his wife Jen was having a seltzer beer, like a Claw, a White Claw. Go out for a drink. Okay, I saw this one. This is really weird. This guy is walking in with this family, minding his own business. Somebody walks out drunk with his girlfriend, a little drunk, and he's rude in the door, and he kind of pushes a little girl or something like that, right? Talk about, ooh. But it went from 0 to 100 and the same thing happened. That man went to go take his family to dinner and killed a man with one punch. He killed the man who pushed his daughter. It's like, come on, man. We don't understand how easy this happens. This happens very easy. What's it going to take? What's it take? You guys, please don't let me say that. The fact that it doesn't take much. I was in this same lot. I could have done the same thing. Was that today? Today's second. No, today's the third. I paid my rent today. I'm out of money. I did not look at my bank account. I don't want to look at my bank account. It was already negative from StreamYard. I didn't even use StreamYard. It was $50. So I got $50. I said, oh, dear God. So I do want to talk about Sebastian. And the things about Sebastian Rogers that this case is fairly new to me. I don't know if you know about it, so I'm going to lay it out real quick. I need better deeds, so if you know more about this, let me know. If you know anything about this in a special way, let me know, because I find this interesting. Clutch Them Pearls. I go on his show every day. It comes on different times, and he's on live, and the chat's like, blah, blah, blah. It's mostly women, but we're all like, okay, we care. So, but actually people from this investigation, I guess I should say, the parents or the parents' friends and things, they get on the chat and they're like, hey, you know. So Sebastian Rogers has a birth father, Seth, who he had every other weekend with. In general, seems like an up-and-up guy. I just don't like it that. I think it's odd. It's almost like he's making money. But if my child was missing, I would stop working. I wouldn't work anymore. He might still have it set up that he's paying her. If they had it every other weekend, he might be paying her. So I don't know what I'm talking about on that. I did find that odd, though. I think $30,000 on a website about my child is... I think he went missing around April. So it just seems a little odd that $30,000 is a lot of money, but he did hire, private investigators, and he has traveled a lot. So, who am I to say, believe, If you know anything, please let me know. Just even so I could tell the guys, my ladies, all my ladies on Clutch Them Pearls and Justin, it's an interesting thing. So this woman, Bullhorn Betty, these names kind of confuse me. Not Bullhorn Betty. Sebastian's stepfather's last name and certain things have different last names. I don't understand this at all. There's Bauer, then there's Proudfoot, and then there's Bowerfoot. It seems... I've asked, I've looked, I've tried. I watch Nancy Grace, and she calls them both Proudfoot. And I know because I make fun of the name a lot. When we hear the stepfather, Chris, he's very aggressive, he's very awful, and he seems like a man who needs to gain control. There's, I don't know if it was Bullhorn Betty, but I know he was talking about somebody in that fashion, and he called her a see you next Tuesday in a harsh way. He MF'd the heck out of the person asking him questions, and he was talking like his teeth are... That is, to me, I hear one thing. You are manipulating us, sir. You're trying to trick me right now. That's what you're doing. It's either feigning anger to deflect the fact that he might have hurt that boy, or kind of deflecting the anger of how mad he is that nobody's giving them privacy and blah. Well, here's what's odd, okay? He keeps saying I'm brash and I'm this, but I let everybody speak for themselves. So, and then he goes and talks for his wife, or he'll say, all the people say so, but I only speak for myself. Well, what are you talking about the people then? He says a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. He did say he would take a lie detector test Everybody else took one but him. He'll say it in a way like everybody passed, but he doesn't specify that he didn't take it. He doesn't. Nancy Grace asked him, and he said, oh, sure, name the time and place. He never did it. She did another show about them, and she actually had somebody else on talking about their behavior and how they're acting in the video before in the time that she interviewed them. And she goes, I'll pay for it. I was told him I'll pay for it. Then he's on platforms and he's saying things to the effect of, the police won't let me do it. I tried to do it. They said, no way. You know, I think it's called CPI there. I'm not sure. That reminds me of, was it CBI? CBI. Well, that reminds me of, what was that show? The Writer. Okay. So, sorry about that, Lord. Remember the Pancake Castle? They called their unit something like that, too. Usually, I don't usually hear it like, I guess you do, though. You know what I like, though, when you see, like, I like NCIS. I love Mark Harmon. He's a silver-haired siren. I love him. I put him on my inspiration board when I was in school at Avila. We had to do like a dream board, and I put Mark Harmon on it. Man, he's hot. So I like when they say stuff like, it's an alphabet party. Here we go. Like, meaning like CSI, NCIS, FBI, like, you know, so it's kind of cool. It's an alphabet party. I like that. That's funny. I like hearing the little lingo here and there. There were a couple things about Sebastian. So Sebastian's mom said that she put him to bed and she woke up and he wasn't there. She says a lot of iffy things she's talking to Chris Proudfoot on the phone. He's at work. He's on his way to work or something like that. And he works like 3.5 hours away, but he's like a trucker too. I think somebody mentioned he's a trucker. Somebody says, I don't know if that's true, but it's like 3.5 hours. Why don't I just look it up? Anyway, but one thing that once they said he's missing, she called him. He didn't call 911. He called like the local police station. When they questioned him about it, he goes, why would I call 911? It's just going to take longer. They'll call 911. 911 just calls the local dispatcher. So, like, he'll say stuff like that makes sense, but really it doesn't. He had to look up a number unless you got on speed dial. How many people do you know on the police force? Isn't it a little quicker to just hit 911 and somebody else who already knows that number could do that for you? It would take me a minute. If I lost my child, who is 15 and autistic, a young man, and nobody knows where he is, are you serious? I'm not looking up anything. I'm hitting 911. I'm not thinking twice. Ooh. I don't like that. It bothers me, truly. The way he talks bothers me. I was watching Dropping Them Pearls tonight. And I'm in the chat and we're talking. He put on some interview. Man, oh man, he just really got me. He got me going the way he was talking about Betty and talking about other platforms and how nobody knows what they're effing talking about. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see here. Chris Proudfoot. Work. Says Chris Proudfoot, Gallatin, Tennessee. Crane operator, heavy equipment operator. All right, so he works like three hours away. Chris Proudfoot. The picture of a narcissist abuser. It's on Reddit. Chris Proudfoot says he left work. So what is Chris Proudfoot? Are you working or not? There is a rumor circulating online that Chris Proudfoot was not at work. Is there ever a time there's not a rumor circulating online? Come on, come on, come on, come on. So what we do on when I'm watching Clutch Them Pearls, he would show like specific parts of their yard and where the cops were all lined up. And they made a big deal saying that there's keys missing. The keys had a light on it. Then they said there's only 2 sets of keys. Well, if there's 2 sets of keys, why would he have a set of keys? Wouldn't the mom have a set of keys and the dad have a set of keys? The front door has a code on it, so he doesn't need that. And autistic people usually do the same thing every day. The only work or any kind of responsibility they gave this young man was to take out the trash. That's really underestimating him right there. If he did take out the trash, they said he went out the front door. And that was pretty much it or whatever. But they say that he's gone. Now, everybody has ring cams. Everybody has... I don't even know how you can't look up Google satellite, put in the time, and see like what happens at that house at that time. But they said that there were like lights. It looked like 2 flashlights or something. And then if you go on another platform, there's a lot of them. Start looking. There's a lot. There's these 2 old men. They're like old FBI agents, or they have like a lot of experience. And they said that was a garbage truck. And that was garbage truck lights. The fact that she says she woke up and he's gone, and everybody's going, okay, now what? And they're all basing it of, okay, I woke up, he's gone. They said, when's the last time you saw him? She said, oh, he went to bed at 9 o'clock. Then there's another story, he went to bed at 8 o'clock. Then there's another story, he went to bed at 10 o'clock. Katie Proudfoot and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, are not keeping consistent stories. There is a thing that when you hit the trauma, you make mistakes and you don't know, and I could kind of see it with her, but I don't be with him at all. When I watched the Nancy Grace interview, the first one, and she was talking about her son. When she first spoke about her son, Sebastian, she said he has no friends, and nobody calls him, and nobody likes him. And Chris is chiming in, talking about Sebastian invades people's space. He doesn't know when to quit, blah, 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 blah. He's a terrible person. Then she said something about the kitchen, and he kind of giggled. And he giggled in a way that I swear to you, it was a giggle of, he's never going to do that again. He also said, oh, I only hit him with the belt once. No one gets hit. Nobody uses a belt once. I know you'll get hit once, but you don't use a belt once. If you use a belt, you use a belt to save your hands. You use a belt for that reason. I know because I've been spanked a lot. When I was spanked, my dad would use his hand, and then after a while, he'd be sitting on the bed with the belt waiting for me. So you never know, like, that in itself is sus. She said that the man, Chris, wasn't home. He's on his way to work. It's far. We were talking, and I was on the couch. I'm falling in and out of sleep. I kind of heard my son, but I said, I don't know what you're doing in there, just, insinuating that her son's jerking off. He is 15 years old, autistic boy. Do you really think the boy who watches Minecraft videos, not even playing Minecraft, watches the videos of people playing Minecraft, is in there? Come on. And I've noticed this with Nicole Kessinger and the Watts stuff. When she wanted to get them off that scent of that 111-minute phone call, she said they were doing phone sex. Because nobody wants to hear those deeds. That's a good way to make people shut up. For her to say, I didn't want to... she said, I heard a thud, which is an odd thing to say. Every single interviewer says, why thud? You know how we all cling on to one thing and we're like, hey, but sometimes it's something to pay attention to. Sometimes it's kind of like, why y'all just run along with it, you bunch of posers? What, everybody's going to do the same thing? Everybody's going to say the same thing? Everybody's going to think the same way? It is odd that she said that because that's a sound that is made when someone is hurt, basically. It's a negative sound. Thud. if I would say my son's in the room, I'd hear a crash. I wouldn't say thud, so I thought that was odd. He said he wasn't home. Somebody else asked him, what was Sebastian wearing last seen? The first time they asked me, he's like, I wasn't even there, how would I know? After a while, he goes, Adidas striped jogging pants and this shirt and that shirt. How would you know if you weren't there? The mom said something to the effect of, I put him to bed at 9, gave him medication. The medication is melatonin. I don't think there's medication for autism. Is there? If there is, please let me know. I'll look it up right now. I will look that up because I don't get that. I don't get that. How would he know what the boy was wearing if he wasn't there? And I understand that he could overhear his wife say, this is what he wore 1,000 times a day, but he didn't say it like my wife said. He said this is what he was wearing. But at the same time, this guy, he's real arrogant, he's real narcissist, he's trying to get control over everything he has zero control on. And this, I'm going to tell you right now, this is what made me know something is absolutely, absolutely wrong. I saw it on the chat. I haven't seen it in the video yet. They put him in a diaper. Sebastian Rogers, 15 years old. They put him in a diaper at night. Let me ask you this. If you're 15, who puts you in the diaper? Who's putting him in the diaper? I think they're like body hair and all that stuff. I know my son smelled like crap. The BO is real, okay? Like, you gotta watch those kids 3 times a day. But yeah, you know, like, is it a pull-up while you put him in a diaper? That's abuse. When he was at his real father's house, his blood father's house, no diaper. Why would you put that young man who goes to school, uses a pin pad, goes to the bathroom all day long? You're telling me that melatonin makes him pee the better? Get out of here with all that. I know things are different for different people, but by 15, if he's not doing it everywhere he is, he doesn't do it. Why would you put it? The only reason why you would put him in a diaper is to humiliate him. There's no reason that is showing control, that is showing, I've got this over here, you're putting on a diaper. Now, if you look at, I forgot what I was going to look up. If you look up stuff with Sean Combs and all that stuff, he would do stuff like, hop on this, come, because it shows dominance. That's this mentality where, I'm in charge. He needed punishing, so I just hit him with the belt. And I asked him, I gotta hit you, right? You did wrong, What? You made a 15-year-old almost a man say, yeah, go ahead, get the belt, I deserve it? What did he do that makes you use corporal punishment on a 15-year-old young man? What did he do? If he's so incapable of doing anything that you could only let him in both houses, only the trash, please give him more responsibility than that. He's still a young man. How is he supposed to go and do more? How is he supposed to do that if everybody just caps him, hits him at the knees? You can't do this. You're autistic. Here, take out the trash. Go out this door. Always do. What are you talking about? So then they said that he was like, he went out that night and the light on his keychain will let him, that's what the 2 lights were. And okay, his father Seth said, my son doesn't go out without shoes on because he stepped on some like fire ants or some kind of a biting ant, and it really upset him and he'll never ever do it again. Why would this boy leave the house with no shoes in the middle of the night? So I'm thinking, I said he has no friends. They said he plays Minecraft or watches Minecraft. They didn't say play, but of course I would hope he'd try to play. I think he had a Switch, which is a Nintendo situation. The Switch for the Switch. So you can play on it. It's kind of like a Game Boy. I don't think you can watch those things on a Game Boy or the Switch. I think you play it on there. So I was thinking if he doesn't have any friends and nobody's nice to him. I remember when I was younger and we, not but we, the people around me, we the people, they would pick on one person, everybody join in. They called me Ninja Lips. I was Ninja Lips for about my freshman year. They called me that. A teacher was calling me that. They spray painted it at the bus stop, and they had the whole bus chanting it when I got on, and it was a ninja. Now people get like injections to get a mouth like mine. Hey, people, keep this in mind when you're doing that. Upper lips are supposed to be smaller than your bottom lip, okay? With your veneers. Let's take some perfectly good teeth and just cover and put this on. That's going to cause problems in a few years. I always kind of thought that Botox would eventually eat people's face from the inside out because it's botulism. It's cow botulism. Like, it's poison. So that's how it just kills those nerves, and that's why it stays like that, but they rejuvenate. He's wearing a diaper at night. They had dogs there. The dogs did not pick up on a scent. For a little bit, they were trying to make it that the dogs hid outside and the dogs hid on a construction site down the street. It does not help that there is a garbage landfill, like not far away from the house. There's also like a creek and some water activity. And they were saying, well, he ran through the yards and he was, yada, yada. He's not going to run through the yards with no shoes. He's not going to leave that house. Why would he go get his keys and then go back out? If the keys are always in one spot because autistic people like routine, then what's the deal? But, they said they have dogs and they put them in the cages and the dogs would have heard if somebody come in the house. But if you put the dogs in, I think they said the sunroom, which was on the other side of the house away from the kitchen. People who put dogs in crates usually put like a blanket over it too. So, quiet and the blanket on it. If you had a TV on in the room, on the living room where she said she was laying on the couch, TV, she didn't say TV that I remember, but I would imagine the TV be on. I always have it on. How would you... The dogs are there. If he came out and Chris wasn't gone for work yet, we can't assume that her saying, I gave him melatonin, I thought he was in bed, I heard a thud, I didn't know, I thought maybe he was like, you don't know what to, teenage boys. How inappropriate and odd is that? I would never bring SEX into it. If my son just went missing, that'd be the last thing I would ever say. Even if I actually said it, I wouldn't say it. It doesn't make sense. I think that guy hurt him. I think he got on his nerves that day. I think that his stepfather hurt him and it went a little too far. I was on, and I think the mom kind of had to go with it. She did pass a lie detector. I don't want to assume he told her anything at first. I don't want to assume that. I don't want to assume that the stories, the beginning of the story is the beginning of the story. With the Watts stuff and some other people, I've noticed that it's not really where they wanted to start it. It's where you wanted to start it. So let's just say the police is you. Let the police say, all right, so you came home and what happened? If they start from this day forward, that's the story. So it might happen the day before. Nobody wants to volunteer that stuff. So, but if she didn't know, how wouldn't she say that he went to bed and all this stuff? Maybe the guy didn't go to work. Maybe, but then there's like, I would imagine GPS, right? I mean, wouldn't that be? He went to work and stuff, so that's why that Reddit and some other things are saying he didn't even go to work. There was also like satellite images of the trucks, and she works for it's like a lock company. What is it? Doggone. I want to say Mirth, and that's not what it's called. It's not called Mirth, Amy. Kaylee Proudfoot work. Brink, an installation tech at Brink. She had her installation tech van out in the front. She's saying she can't tell anybody because she's not allowed to by her job, and that's a commercial. They want people to see it. They decorate the truck so you will say Brinks. That's what they do. Katie Proudfoot profile. View the profiles of people named Katie Proudfoot. Why would I do that? What are you talking about? There's a lot of TikTok and rocking going on about this too, so if you want to look that up. I do wonder where that Bauer comes in now. So, also, if you do look up the TRO stuff, it's kind of crazy. So, the Bullhorn Betty has been all over this. Just like Clutch Them Pearls. They're really into it, okay? This would have to get on anybody's nerves who's really sensitive about this. This guy, he's acting a certain kind of way. He's talking like, he'll say stuff like, everybody says this, or everybody knows this. And he'll give like true facts, true details, so to speak, but they don't align with what's actually in your situation. So it kind of is true on paper. It looks right, but it's really not right. And they keep changing it up. They also said that as soon as they found that out and they called the cops and stuff, they had to go. They took a long trip. Let me look it up right now. I'm going to say 7-hour trip. I was in a chat and somebody said, I'm afraid that they cut that little boy up, put him in the toilet, and dropped him off at different locations during that trip. That makes me super sad, but it's possible. How long was the trip for the Proudfoots after Sebastian? Oh my gosh. It fills it in for me. Died, was killed, disappeared. Can I get that? Oh my goodness. It just keeps coming up as died. How long was the trip? Sebastian was reported missing by his mother the next day. Katie Proudfoot said, I heard a thud from his room around 10 p.m. Harry Potter game. Right after a No. I just want to know how far that trip was. How long it was. It's upsetting. Point is, it was like an inappropriate time to go. Let me ask real quick. I feel pressure. I appreciate your time, so I don't want to be a dingbat, but you know what? I watch a lot of platforms and people, you know, they take a minute. I mean, there's normally a chat running along, but I've watched, I don't think you get to see the chat on TV. I see the chat on my computer or my phone maybe. I've never even tried it on my phone. Okay, let me ask. And they, you know, sit there and stare at stuff for a while. I don't want to do that, but when was the trip? Proudfoot's trip. This is so lame, man. I can never find a straight answer. I put Proudfoot All right, Sebastian. Since Sebastian has not been seen in person or on camera since his disappearance February 26th, his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, spoke to the media for the first time on March 4th, 8 days after he went missing. I don't know about you, but if my son was missing, stepmom and mom skip town in an RV camper. When mom went, okay, someone put, I was holding out hope mom and stepdad aren't involved, but seeing the interview of SR, meaning Seth Rogers, and Nancy Grace had me questioning, and then seeing a photo of CP and KP, meaning Chris and Katie Proudfoot, out at a restaurant last night while everyone was searching, and now they are leaving town. When he comes home and they aren't there, I can't imagine. Wow. Henderson, Tennessee. Let's see. Someone put Nancy Grace, ugh. It's odd behavior. Everybody's saying that. This is Reddit. I don't know how I ended up on Reddit. Oh, help us, Lord. Reddit reminds me of like the Waffle House. Hold the internet. It's difficult to keep the story straight. They told him not to come back there until all of this dies down, allegedly. And he said in their most recent interview that he almost lost his job because of the rumors, but that he hopefully will be back to work soon. Then he says he's working at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. Someone said, oh, really? That's the second time I'm seeing that today. Someone puts, what kind of position, I wonder? Someone puts, I guess he would be doing any kind of crane operations on construction over there. I don't trust a word he says. Allegedly, Katie left him, though. Bio Dad says in interviews that KP would often accompany CP to his out-of-town jobs when she didn't have Sebastian. Yeah, but if your kid is missing, would you leave the home he would want to come back to? These are all things people are saying. Someone says they are either because of his disappearing, don't care if he did in fact leave or know who he is with. Either way, you're a bad person, felon, or both. He's guilty, or a poor parent. Something's wrong. Can people please quit with why aren't they searching? This person's name is human underscore oil underscore 6861. Can people please quit with why aren't they searching? Because if they did find him, then they would be accusing of killing him if he is dead, and if alive, accuse him of hiding him, even if they were completely innocent. Maybe they went to eat to go get away from people stalking their house like a bunch of deranged lunatics. You got some convict with a crappy camera and half of YouTube grab a camera and film everyone, community following them, and then his half-brother making threats against them, people like crazy. This isn't the first case of a missing child and won't be the last. Some of y'all out there knowing crap demanding answers like you're someone special. You aren't. Only just a bunch of people of nosy busybody nut job stalking people that could be innocent, does that bother anyone that there could be some kind of proof that they did something before the lunch in the Times Square that we live in? Seems like Salem. If the weirdos come out in these situations. Wow. This guy. You think the house isn't being monitored? Sleepy parents are there in case SR comes home, but that doesn't satisfy anyone. I wish I actually knew these people, because I couldn't imagine being accused of murdering my child if I didn't do it. Where are people going in real life? Are people that crazy and bored at home? Do you not have problems? So this is what's going on all the chats and all the stuff. And when you watch the Bullhorn Betty thing, when she's chasing this guy, people were calling him Bowerfoot. The foot is also on the end of it. Tonight in the chat, a couple chats, kind of under the impression that Bowerfoot is related to her. Bowerfoot and Proudfoot came right up. Chris Bowers and Ben Proudfoot in conversation. Now, Nicole Kessinger there. So that's me! Guys, hey you guys. I gotta do something. Hey you guys. I cannot believe mine came up. That is groovy. There's enough for now. I'm sweating bullets. You know I'm sweating bullets. I feel like, ooh, it's hot. I took a Benadryl, but when I got that gift, I got some Benadryl and saved the rest of the money, but I gotta pay my bills. I'm scared. I'm scared. Look at the bank account. A song I'd like to leave you with that you can look up. Mercy, Mercy Me. I Want You from Robert Palmer. Really good song. I think it's 91, 92. Look it up. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Ah, things ain't what they used to be. No. Keep an eye out for Sebastian. There were some pictures of him with black hair a few months ago in North Carolina. It's not looking good. God bless you and your families.